Good morning. It's day 11 and it's our final day on the ship. Today we are at sea. There are a lot of activities going on. We're going to go down to breakfast and then immediately following breakfast, we're going on a behind the scenes backstage tour of the theater. It should be really exciting. I can hardly wait. So that's a bit of an update. Bye for now. When we arrive at the theater, Adelaide, a 19-year-old dancer from Australia, welcomes us. She invites us to stand on the stage and see how the audience looks when being on stage. We also look at the stage. There are markings on the floor to help the performers know where they are to stand. Also, the markings help the production team know where to place props. This is the back of the stage. Tonight's show is Rock City. The musicians will be performing on stage during the show. We went to the backstage area. This is where the director follows the script and communicates with the production crew and cast. The director is in charge of scene changes and cueing performers to enter the stage. This cage is where a lot of the special effects are housed. They have aerial performers which keep their equipment here. This is the women's dressing room. The dancers have 3 cast productions plus 3 other performances. There are a lot of costumes. The costumes are the property of celebrity and are handed down from dancer to dancer. Adelaide is in charge of maintaining the costumes and fixing them when needed. She has a needle and thread prepared for any last-minute repairs which may be needed. This is the area where the shoes and headpieces are stored. Adelaide is showing us one of the headpieces she has to wear during a show. The ceilings are too low to allow for Adelaide to stand up straight when wearing a headpiece. Once she fixes the headpiece to her hair, she has to carefully walk hunched over with her head up while in the dressing room. Once backstage, she can stand up, but she has to be very careful not to move her head or the headpiece will fall off. This is the men's dressing room. It is very similar to the women's dressing room. There are lots of different costumes. Also, this is an area for the performers' shoes and wigs used during the performances. This backstage area is where some of the props are stored for the show. And lastly, there is a giant dragon's head stored backstage. It is not used in any of the performances and has not been utilized for many years. It seems this backstage area is the permanent storage area for the dragon. It has become the performer's mascot. Well, that ends our backstage tour. Hello, I had a wonderful time on the behind the scenes backstage tour of the theater. Adeline, our tour guide, was really nice. When I was coming back from the behind the scenes tour, I had to go through the shops area. Boy, was it busy. There were people everywhere. It was like a mad dash for last minute shopping. I am resting in the room, and then in about 30 minutes, I'm going upstairs to the lunch buffet. It is the final day on the cruise, and there should be lots and lots of food as they're trying to get rid of all the excess food they have on ship. So it should be a wonderful display of the culinary arts. So that's a bit of an update. Bye for now. Up at the lunch buffet, the chefs really outdid themselves. There was so much delicious food. They had a large turkey with all sorts of side dishes. There was a giant skillet of lobster mac and cheese. They had seafood paella. There was a large assortment of meats and cheeses. There were many types of meats and cheeses I had never heard of before. They were all beautifully displayed. They also had an area where you could get shrimp cocktail. There were the regular stations such as the salad bar, pasta bar, and pizza station. The grill area had different types of meats which could be cooked to order. There were lots and lots of sides, such as various types of salads and toppings. The desserts looked incredible. They had all sorts of cakes. My mom said the carrot cake was absolutely delicious. She said the chocolate mousse cake was very rich. The last big attraction was a huge fruit display. The sides of the watermelons were carved and displayed various scenes. There was a dolphin, a beautiful bird. One melon had the word extravaganza written on it. The highlight was palm trees, which were made from pineapples. There were 3 monkeys made from eggplant, oranges, and a few other produce items. The monkeys and the palm trees were my favorite part of the buffet. During lunch, the captain came on the intercom. The port we are supposed to sail to and disembark at is closed. There is fog. We are diverting and we are sailing to another port. We will wait there. Then an escort from the Port Authority will arrive to guide us into our original cruise port. Hopefully, the cruise port will be open and will allow us to dock with an escort from the Port Authority. If the port is not open, we will have to disembark from the cruise at a different cruise port several hours away, which means many of the people on the cruise, including my mom and me, will not make their flights home. We will find out tomorrow morning if we've been able to make it to our cruise port. We have been informed to pack and do everything as normal. Hopefully, everything will work out. That's a bit of an update. Bye for now. Good evening. Tonight is our last night on the cruise ship. We had a wonderful time at supper. My mom tried something new. She had Israeli couscous. She is undecided if she liked it, but she had enough to eat and was satisfied. Then we came back to the room and packed. If you're unfamiliar with cruising, the last night you have to pack up your luggage and place it outside your room by 9 p.m. Anything which is not placed outside the stateroom by 9 p.m. must be carried off the ship by the passenger. My mom and I have been busy organizing our luggage. We are almost completely packed up. Tomorrow we'll find out if we made it to our cruise ship terminal because it was closed today due to fog. We need to be up early to vacate the stateroom and then we need to go to breakfast. Once our number is called, we can disembark from the ship. We need to pick up our luggage at the dock and go through customs and immigration. Next, we have to get a ride to the airport and check in for our flight. Thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to like and subscribe down below. I hope you have a great day and a wonderful week. Bye-bye. Stay tuned to next week. It is day 12. We disembark the cruise ship and go to the airport. Our first flight is delayed and arrives at the airport when our second flight is supposed to be departing. Will I make my connection or will I be left behind at the airport? Join me next week to find out.